Yeah, okay, Richard, but I mean, we've got a 6100, we've got a 6600. I mean, improvements, evolutions, but it's not groundbreaking stuff, right?
Yeah, but you've also got, you know, 2 new high-end APS-C lenses.
Bullshit! Welcome back. It is Chris Niccolls here for DPReview TV, and I'm joined by DPReview.com's Richard Butler.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Richard. And we have just come from the Sony launch of 4 new, very interesting products, hey?
Yep, we've seen the a6600, the more basic a6100, and 2 APS-C lenses.
Absolutely. We had a really nice time. I guess it's midday, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So the good news is I've not been anywhere near the minibar.
Full disclosure, I've had 2 cups of coffee and a Diet Coke so far. So why don't we start with the Sony a6600. That is their new flagship, top-of-the-line APS-C platform. Very much like the 6500, we've got weather sealing, you know, magnesium body, much like you'd expect. Very similar control structure, but you do notice that the grip has changed significantly.
Yeah, so there's no front dial, which we were rather hoping for.
Yeah.
But the grip is bigger because it's got the new Z battery in it.
Yeah, and that is a very welcome change. I mean, you know, Sony's saying that this is going to be the longest battery life of any sort of APS-C mirrorless compact, but certainly it is a step up in a big way. It's not hard to do from the W series battery, isn't it, Richard?
Yeah, they're claiming 810 shots per charge, which is far and away above what we've seen on the a6000 series before. That's going to make a huge difference.
No autofocusing joystick. It would have been nice to see Sony sort of expand their ergonomic design a little bit with this camera.
Yeah, there's an additional C3 button on the back of the 6600.
But where they give us one thing, they take from another. No flash actually on the 6600, and for some people that's not going to be a deal breaker. For other people, that's going to be a big deal. Eh?
Yeah.
Tilt screen though, full for vlogging now. And while we're on that topic, I think I'm just going to mention right off the bat, I mean, one of the most exciting things about this camera, headphone jack, of course, as well as mic input. So now for vlogging, when you couple this with fantastic autofocus, this actually has a very, very compelling vlog kind of capability.
Yes, but at the risk of trying to channel Jordan, it's still got the 24 megapixel sensor, which is going to mean slightly wobbly 24p from the full width,
Slightly.
or slightly less wobbly 30p from a crop of the sensor.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should just address the elephant in the room, which is, you know, this is their flagship camera. We're still using the same 24 megapixel sensor. It is, you know, this camera has to compete against this camera, doesn't it? The Fuji X-T3. This is the one to beat in this market. Why does it not have a similar sensor with much less rolling shutter, you know, a little bit higher resolution, better low light performance? Why, Richard? Why?
Well, I know, because you would have thought Sony would know a company who could make them a sensor like that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, they probably have a friend of a friend who could probably sort it out for them.
Yeah.
So then what are we getting as a benefit? If we're not getting a new sensor, which is really unfortunate, and the same kind of construction and design kind of layout, I guess it's going to be the real-time tracking that was debuted on the a6400 in this kind of series.
Absolutely, and it makes a huge difference.
Sure.
I mean, it's, you know, you can just point the camera at something, it'll track it. If it recognizes a person, it'll track it as a person. If it then recognizes a face or an eye, it'll track that.
Right.
I mean,
like if they transformed instantly from human to animal form, you know, some sort of lycanthrope, sorted.
it's going to be a significant step up over the 6500.
And for the vast majority of people out there, don't worry, it still does also have a UHS 1 slot that supports Memory Stick Duo. So don't worry, we don't need a faster slot, we still have that legacy support.
Yeah, so, you know, that's not a problem for video because it's only 100 megabits per second, but, you know, you can shoot off 11 FPS bursts and then just wait.
Yeah, I mean, we need to slow down the photographic process anyways. That'll all improve our photos. As interesting as this camera is, you know, and it is a nice evolution, not revolution, we are more excited, actually, oddly enough, about their entry-level option here, the a6100.
Absolutely, which is essentially many of these features, but squeezed into the a6000 body.
Yeah.
We still have the old 1.44 million dot EVF. It's been a while since we've seen one of those.
You notice it. You notice it when you look through now after using many different cameras in a similar time period on the market today.
Absolutely, but it's still, like the a6000, launched at a really competitive price, and it has those full AF tracking capabilities off the top level camera.
I mean, that's the thing. We're now getting people an entry level camera, but with top quality autofocus performance. I would personally say the best I've ever used so far to date. And it doesn't end there. I mean, we're also getting things like a mic jack now, 4K video, which is, again, makes sense. You know,
a touchscreen that tilts all the way up.
For
you know,
sure.
because, you know, we all like to vlog.
I mean, these are all things that we were not having on the a6000, and of course, as the a6000 is the best-selling camera in the mirrorless industry, but has been around for a long time. I feel this does bring it to a quite modern level.
Absolutely. I mean, as well as the tracking, the other great improvement is color science.
Yes.
You know, we're going to see the much improved JPEG color that we've seen in recent Sonys, and that's, you know, increasingly looking like a weak spot for the a6000. Yeah, it's priced at like $750 body only. That's a really competitive price, and it's a lot of capability for that money.
Lenses are by far, for me, the biggest, most exciting thing here, because frankly, Jordan and I make a thing about saying that we tell the manufacturers this is what you need, and they've finally done it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen them produce body after body, but without necessarily the lenses you might want to mount on it. And now a 16-55 f2.8, and it's really quite a nice compact. You know, it's
very much so.
You know, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's a usable f2.8.
Yeah.
It's not stabilized, but you know, it's.
That's the idea. You're going to have to pair this with a 6500, 6600, get that IBIS so that you have that support if you want it. Yeah. But remarkably lightweight, still weather sealed, 67mm filter thread. I mean, not bad. Is this expensive?
Yes.
And that does have to be factored in, right? What are we looking at?
It's $1,400 US, which makes it as expensive as any of the bodies in the lineup. That's going to feel like a big expenditure to some people. It is expensive, but if the quality lives up to the MTF curves that Sony has been showing me this morning, it's going to be really impressive.
Now, another area where we feel Sony was kind of lacking is long telephoto support in this market. Everybody was using, you know, the FE glass 100 to 400s and stuff to do this. So now we have a 70 to 350, beautiful range, 4.5 to 6.3, not the fastest lens, but first thing I noticed, again, lightweight, compact, it is weather sealed, it feels really nice and tight.
Yeah, it's part of Sony's G series of lenses, which is what they denote their more expensive, you know, premium lenses. So it's weather sealed, it's optically stabilized. It's going to be, you know, combined with the AF we've seen in the new cameras. It's going to be a really strong lens for birding and, you know, sports and wildlife shooting of all kinds, really.
Yeah. So Richard, to wrap things up, we have a 6600, which, although a very interesting contender, I still feel is lacking or could have done better compared to the X-T3. It was an opportunity for Sony to really kind of dominate the field.
Absolutely. There are still areas where a year-old camera, you know, year-and-a-half-old camera, still bests the latest thing that Sony's produced, which is a surprise.
Yeah, but 3 out of 4 things, not bad. They are nice improvements. And you know, when you factor in the RX100 Mark 7, you know, the new A7R4, like, we basically have a full lineup now of products that all have real-time tracking AF with eye detect and animal eye focus. Like, that is pretty significant. Absolutely.
I think Sony has seen this is a technology that they have that other people can't yet compete with, and so they're rushing it into every model across the lineup. So it's really just the A7 III that's the, you know, that's not yet received it. So I don't know, you know. They'll probably invite us back in a week's time to. You know.
We'll see what that is.
Yeah.
All right. We hope you found this useful. You know, of course, we do have a hands-on first look review coming up very, very shortly, where we're going to get time with these cameras. Sample images are coming, but yeah, lots of products, lots of information to digest. See if that works better for you. And don't forget, go to DPReview.com. We're going to have some resources that you can check out there. Lots of good articles, lots of information.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, ask them in the comments. We'll try and address them.
All right. Thanks so much for joining me in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, check out Twitter, check out Instagram, and let's now break out that mini bar.
The sun is beyond the yard arm.
Is it noon?